A mother screams over her dead child. A horse rears in agony. A bull stands in the darkness. A light bulb burns like an eye in the sky. This is not just a painting. This is a scream. On April 26, 1937, the small Basque town of Guernica was destroyed from the air. A few weeks later, Pablo Picasso turned that horror into one of the most powerful images of the 20th century. This is the full story of Guernica. It was market day in Guernica. German and Italian planes, acting for General Franco, attacked the town for over 3 hours. Incendiary bombs turned the streets into fire. Hundreds of civilians were killed. It was one of the first deliberate aerial bombings of a civilian population in history, a rehearsal for the total war that would soon consume Europe. News of the massacre reached Paris within days. Picasso, living in the French capital, was already working on a large mural for the Spanish pavilion at the 1937 World's Fair. Until that moment he had no clear subject. The bombing of Guernica gave him one. Picasso worked with furious speed. He produced more than 40 sketches in a few days. On May 11 he stretched a canvas almost 8 meters wide in his studio on Rue de Grands Augustins. The canvas was so large it had to be tilted under the sloping roof. His partner at the time, the photographer Dora Maar, documented every stage of the work. We can still see how the composition evolved. Figures moved, symbols changed, a raised fist of political resistance was later removed. Picasso chose black, white and gray. No color. Only the language of newspapers and newsreels, the way the world first learned of the atrocity. What do the figures mean? Picasso refused to give a single fixed interpretation. The screaming horse is often seen as the suffering people. The bull has been read as brutality, darkness, or Spain itself. The mother holding her dead child is one of the most devastating images of maternal grief in modern art. The electric light bulb, in Spanish bombilla, becomes a bitter play on the word bomba. There are no airplanes, no bombs, no soldiers in uniform. Only the victims. Only the aftermath. Guernica was shown at the Spanish Pavilion in Paris in 1937. It then traveled across Europe and America as a political weapon against fascism, raising funds for the Republican cause. After the fall of the Spanish Republic, Picasso refused to let the painting return to Spain while Franco remained in power. It stayed at the Museum of Modern Art in New York for more than 40 years. Only after Franco's death and the return of democracy did Guernica finally come home to Spain in 1981. Guernica has become more than a response to one bombing. It has become a universal image of civilians suffering under aerial war. Whenever cities are bombed, the painting is brought out again, in protests, in newspapers, in memory. It refuses to become history. It remains a warning. Picasso once said he painted Guernica so that the world would see what had been done. Almost 90 years later, the scream is still audible. The horse still rears. The mother still cries. The light still burns. And the question the painting asks has never gone away. How many more times will we need to look at this image before we learn? Subscribe if you want the stories paintings never tell themselves.